All right, so now we want to talk about range, mean, median, and mode for group data. All right. Now, the range looks at the differences between the largest and smallest values in a data set. Right? The formula for range, it's simply the largest value in the data set minus the smallest value in the data set. Right? Or the maximum value minus the minimum value. For group data, because you're working with intervals, class intervals, the minimum value will be a lower limit in the smallest class or the first class. And then your maximum value will be the upper limit in the largest or the last class. So in this example here, 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 to 19, my maximum value is 19, my minimum value is 0. So the range is going to be 19 minus 0, which is 19, right? Let's look at another one. Here we have the intervals 2 to 6, 7 to 11, 12 to 16, 17 to 21. Then our range here will be our max value minus our minimum value. And our max value is 21. And our minimum value is 2. So we get a total of 19 for our range. Everybody okay with that? Right. Next, we want to look at the mean for group data. Now, we saw the mean previously being the sum of all the data points divided by the number of data points. But we have to take a different approach when we're dealing with group data because we have class intervals. So what that means is that we have to find the midpoint of each class interval. After finding the midpoint of each class interval, we will multiply that by the frequency, right, to get what we call f of x. We will then add all of our f by x values to get what here we call in the sum of f by x, or what we call f of x values. And then we will divide it by the total frequency, which we are calling the sum of your frequency f. So this is the formula for mean. The sum of f of x over the sum of f. Now, this will be better understood with an example. Here's a work example. Now, if we have these different intervals, 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 to 19, let's assume that these are marks that student receives on a test. This column here is telling us the frequency. So 4 students got a mark between 0 to 4, 7 students got a mark between 5 to 9, 5 students got a mark between 10 to 14, 4 students got a mark between 15 to 19. Because we do not have an exact value as to what mark each student here got, we will find what we call the midpoint of this class. The midpoint of this class is found by adding the two limits and dividing by 2. This gives us an average value or midpoint that we could use for each class. So in order to work out our mean, we will multiply each of these frequencies by the midpoint associated with the class, giving us our f by x column. So 4 2s will give us 8, 7 by 7 will give us 49, 5 by 12 will give us 60, 4 by 17 will give us 68. Finding the total of this column is our sum of f of x. And finding the total of our frequency column will give us the sum of f. So the sum of f will be 4 plus 7 plus 5 plus 4, which is 20. And the sum of f of x will be 8 plus 49 plus 60 plus 68, giving us 185. So the mean will be found by taking 185 and dividing it by 20, which will give us 9.25. Can you try this one for me? All right, let's see if we could work this one out. So we made the midpoints of each of these class intervals, 0 and 5. We add that together and we divide by 2, we're going to get 2.5. 6 and 10, that's 16 divided by 2, going to give us 8. 11 and 15, that's going to give us 26 divided by 2, that's giving us 13. 16 and 20, that's 36 divided by 2, that's going to give us 18. And then we multiply the frequency by the midpoint. So this is going to give us 6, 7.5. 5 by 8. 1 second. 4 by 13, 48 and 4, 52. 30 and 24, 54. Right, so the sum, we need the sum of our frequency here. 3 and 5 is 8, 8 and 4 is 12, 12 and 3 is 15. 7.5 plus 40 plus 52 plus 54, 153.5. Right, so this is our sum of f of x here, and this is our sum of f. So when we want to get a mean, and 10.23 for this one. Maybe a thumbs up if you got that. Yeah. Right, so that's our solution for this particular question. Lovely.